Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really diving headfirst into something that touches pretty much all of our digital lives. Something we often dread, actually. Passwords. Or maybe the idea of a future without them. It's fascinating, but maybe a bit unsettling too. Our mission today is to unpack whether living without those memorized codes is, actually viable. We're looking especially at a recent digital experiment our sources covered where someone actually tried it.
Exactly. I mean, here we are, mid-2025, right? And passwords, they're still kind of holding the fort, but they are definitely cracking under the pressure. They protect everything, your banking, your social media. But gosh, they're vulnerable. And that's the real tension, isn't it? This promise of better security, maybe more ease. But it means challenging this thing we've relied on for decades.
Why?
Memorizing code. So yeah, we'll dig into why the old ways are failing, look at the alternatives, and then see how this experiment actually played out in the real world.
Okay, let's jump right in there, because the core issue. Passwords are just, well, they're deeply flawed, aren't they? Even though they're supposed to be our security backbone. I mean, who hasn't been locked out of an account? Or struggled to remember some super complex password you just created? Does the data actually back up this feeling of frustration we all seem to share?
Oh, absolutely. The numbers are pretty stark, actually. NordPass did a study in 2024, found the average person juggles around 100 passwords.
100. Wow.
Yeah, think about that, 100. And what happens? People use weak ones, like password 123, obvious stuff, or, and this is really risky, they reuse the same password across lots of different sites.
100 is. I'm almost scared to count mine now.
Yeah.
What kind of security risks does that behavior really create?
Well, it creates a huge security nightmare, frankly. Look at the 2023 Verizon data breach report. It said 86% of breaches involved stolen credentials. And almost half of those, 49%, were directly because of weak or reused passwords.
Nearly, yeah.
Yeah. Hackers love it. It's low-hanging fruit. They use phishing, brute force attacks, and suddenly they're into your sensitive data. Bank details, health records, you name it.
And beyond the security aspect, there's just the sheer daily frustration, like you mentioned. That Google survey from 2024, 65% of people locked out because they forgot their password, and 40% resetting passwords every single month. That's a lot of wasted time.
It really is. And all those complexity rules, uppercase, lowercase, number, symbol,
Yes.
they just lead people to writing them down on sticky notes or maybe using password managers, which brings up another point.
Right, password managers. They seem like a good solution, but are they foolproof?
Well, that's the critical thing. They're generally better than a sticky note, for sure. But they aren't immune. Remember the LastPass breach in 2023?
Vaguely, yeah. What happened there?
It exposed the vault data for 25 million users. It just goes to show the risk when you put all your eggs in one centralized basket. So yeah, passwords really have become this sort of clunky, vulnerable relic. They're failing us.
Okay, so daily frustration, individual security risks.
Wow, that.
Check. But zooming out, what's the really heavy cost? For businesses, for society.
No, that's where it gets significantly bigger and more concerning. The impacts are severe for businesses. IBM reported data breaches cost, on average, $4.45 million in 2023, and stolen passwords. Often the way hackers get in, think about that Seattle bakery ransomware attack in 2025. A small business hit hard because of weak employee logins.
Just from a password issue.
Exactly. And for individuals, it's identity theft, financial loss, privacy violations. Remember the Equifax breach in Canada in 2024? 19,000 users, $10 million in fraud, all linked back to reused passwords. It's a constant threat.
So this isn't just isolated incidents. It sounds more like a systemic problem undermining trust in the whole digital world.
It really is. Cybercrime and passwords are a huge fuel for it. Cost the global economy $8 trillion in 2023. That's according to Cybersecurity Hunter.
8 trillion.
8 trillion. And projected to hit $10.5 trillion by 2025. It affects everything. Plus, there's password fatigue. That Pew Research study in 2024, 70% of users avoid signing up for new things just because of the password hassle.
70%.
Yeah. So that friction, it actually stifles innovation. It slows down engagement online. We urgently need something better.
Okay, the stage is definitely set. Passwords are a problem, a big one. So let's imagine a world where these headaches just vanish.
Right.
That's the promise,
Yeah.
right? The passwordless revolution. It sounds great, but what does it actually look like? What are these next-gen alternatives?
It really is a revolution in the making. Several technologies are leading the way. First up, probably the most familiar, biometrics.
Fingerprints, face scans,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Exactly. Using your unique physical traits. Apple's Face ID, launched way back in 2017, now authenticates, 1 billion iPhone users daily? And Apple's own metrics for 2024 claim a false positive rate of just 1 in a million. Pretty secure. And fingerprint scanners, like on Samsung Galaxy phones. Used by about 80% of Android users, according to Statista in 2023. The big advantage. Much harder to steal than a password you've written down.
But what's the catch? There's always a catch.
The catch is data storage. If a database holding your fingerprint or face scan gets hacked, you can't exactly reset your fingerprint, can you? That's a major concern.
Yeah, good point. Okay, what else?
Then there's two-factor authentication, 2FA. Most people have probably used this. It adds that extra layer, something you have, like your phone, plus something you know, like a PIN, or something you are, like that fingerprint again.
Right. Those codes you get texted.
Exactly. Or apps like Authy or Google Authenticator. And it works. Google said their 2FA, used by 500 million people in 2024, cut account hijackings by 50%.
50% reduction is huge.
It is, but it's not completely foolproof either. We've seen sophisticated attacks like SIM swapping.
SIM swapping, how does that work?
Hackers trick your phone company into transferring your number to their SIM card. Then they get your 2FA codes. Chainalysis reported $68 million in crypto was stolen this way in 2024 alone. So better, but not perfect.
Okay, so biometrics have privacy risks. 2FA can be bypassed. What's next? You mentioned blockchain.
Ah, yes, blockchain-based authentication. This is a newer frontier, really interesting stuff. Instead of a company holding your identity info, imagine it's spread out, decentralized, on a secure blockchain. It uses cryptographic keys, no single point of failure for hackers to target.
So no central honeypot of data.
Precisely. Microsoft piloted something like this, their I/O network, in 2024. And Singapore did a trial in 2025 for government IDs using blockchain. They said it cut fraud by 30%.
30% reduction. That's significant.
Very. The big advantage is giving you, the user, more control over your digital identity. But it's still early days.
Yeah.
Scalability, getting people to understand and use it, those are the challenges.
Okay, lots of interesting tech there. But you hear one term cropping up more and more, passkeys. Let's unpack those. What makes them stand out?
Right. Passkeys are definitely getting a lot of attention, and for good reason. They're a major step. They're built on something called public key cryptography, developed by the FIDO Alliance. That's a big industry group working on these standards.
Public key cryptography. How does that work in simple terms?
Okay, think of it like this. Your device, say your phone or laptop, securely creates and stores a unique private key. It never leaves your device. It's like your secret digital signature. The website or server you're using holds a corresponding public key. It can verify your signature, but it can't forge it.
So the secret part stays secret.
Exactly. When you log in, your device uses the private key to sign a challenge from the website. The website checked that signature with the public key. If it matches, you're in. Crucially, no password, no secret is ever transmitted over the network.
Ah, okay. And adoption is picking up speed, right?
Yeah.
Apple, Google, Microsoft.
Yes, they all rolled out major support starting around 2023. The FIDO Alliance thinks we'll see 1 billion passkey logins recorded by, well, about now, July 2025.
So if I log into, say, PayPal on my phone using a passkey, I just use Face ID or my fingerprint.
Yep. Your device verifies you locally, then does the cryptographic handshake with PayPal. No password needed.
And that makes it more secure. How exactly? Beyond just being convenient?
It's much more resistant to phishing. That's key. Because the passkey is tied to the specific website domain and your device, a fake phishing site simply can't trigger it correctly. It won't work.
Okay, that's a big deal. Phishing is so common.
Huge deal. It dramatically cuts down credential theft risk. And yeah, it also means for many sites you wouldn't need a separate password manager anymore.
And we're seeing actual results from companies using them.
We are. Uber adopted passkeys in 2024. They reported login failures dropped by 40%. That's better user experience and lower support costs for them.
40% is massive.
And Kayak, the travel site, they rolled them out in 2025 and saw account recovery requests drop by 25%. People weren't getting locked out as much.
Those are some compelling numbers. It shows the potential.
Definitely. It's not just theory. It's making a real difference already for early adopters.
Okay, hearing the promise is one thing. Seeing the stats is another. But what's it actually like to live this passwordless life? Our sources detailed this fascinating experiment. Someone ditched passwords entirely for a week. What did that real-world test actually show us?
Yeah, this experiment is super insightful. It gives us a glimpse into the practical side. So the setup. 1 week, Only passwordless methods allowed. Biometrics, 2FA were necessary, and passkeys wherever possible. They used an iPhone with Face ID, a Windows laptop with a fingerprint reader, set up passkeys for Google, PayPal, Dropbox, and used Google Authenticator for sites that, hadn't caught up yet.
And the initial reaction? Liberating.
Day one was apparently liberating, yes. Instant access to banking, Gmail,
Yeah.
no typing passwords. The immediate convenience really hit home.
Sounds fantastic on day one. But I'm sensing a but coming. What were the hurdles, the reality checks?
Oh, there were definitely reality checks. By day 3, bumps appeared. A news website didn't support passkeys. So back to fiddling with a 2FA code from the Authenticator app, a bit clunky.
Right, the inconsistency.
Exactly. And their older laptop, the fingerprint scanner apparently got temperamental in humid weather, locked them out of a work app at a crucial moment.
Ah, the hardware factor. Okay.
Then day 5, a deeper worry surfaced. What about the biometric data itself? That face scan? What if that got hacked? You can't just change your face.
That's the core anxiety with biometrics, isn't
It
it?
really is. And by the end of the week, day 7, they appreciated the speed, definitely. But the main feeling was craving universal adoption, needing everything to work this way to avoid the frustrating gaps and workarounds.
So the experiment really highlighted the trade-offs then.
Absolutely. It synthesized them perfectly. Passwordless is faster, often much more secure. They logged a 60% reduction in login time, which is huge.
60%.
Yeah. But those compatibility gaps are real. Biometric reliability isn't always perfect across different devices or conditions, and that Gartner report from 2025, only 30% of websites supporting passkeys right now. It shows we still have a way to go for this transition. It's happening, but maybe not as fast as we'd like.
Okay, so hurdles exist, but let's focus on the upside again. Assuming we get there, what are the truly transformative benefits? What does it really mean for you, the listener?
It means a really significant leap forward, not just convenience, but security inclusion. It's broad. First, clearly, improved security. Passkeys, biometrics, they kill phishing and brute force attacks. FIDO Alliance data suggests a 99% drop in credential theft for passkey users.
99% reduction. That's almost total.
It's a game changer for stopping breaches. Remember, stolen passwords fueled 80% of hacks in 2024, according to Verizon. Imagine slashing that.
Okay, what else?
Enhanced user experience. Think back to Kayak. Less login friction led to a 10% boost in bookings. Smoother interactions mean happier users, more engagement.
Makes sense. Less frustration.
Then, big savings for businesses. Forrester estimated each password reset costs about $70. For large companies, that adds up to maybe $1 billion a year collectively. Passwordless cuts way down on that.
$1 billion just on password resets.
Wow. And finally, maybe the most profound, social benefits. It can reduce digital exclusion. Older users often struggle with complex passwords. That AARP study in 2025, 60% of seniors actually prefer fingerprint logins. It's easier for them.
That's a really interesting point.
And looking further out, those blockchain-based identities could empower people in underserved regions, giving them secure control over their own data. That builds trust and participation.
Okay, the benefits are really clear.
Yeah.
Security, ease, savings, even inclusion. But the road ahead isn't perfectly paved, is it? What are the big roadblocks we still need to overcome?
No, it's definitely not seamless yet. There are significant challenges. Compatibility is a big one. You need reasonably modern devices for passkeys and good biometrics. Statista estimated in 2025 that 10% of smartphones globally still lack biometric support. That's a lot of people.
10% is still a huge number worldwide.
It is. Then, those privacy concerns we touched on, they're real. That Aadhaar fingerprint exposure in India in 2023, things like that erode trust. And you see cultural resistance. That Pew study found 25% of Americans just avoid facial recognition tech. Lack of trust, maybe lack of understanding.
So public perception is a barrier too.
Definitely. And technical literacy, especially for things like blockchain IDs, only 15% of users really grasp decentralized identity concepts, according to Pew. That needs education.
And the cost. Upgrading everything can't be cheap.
Not at all. NIST estimated upgrading the global infrastructure could cost around $100 billion. That's a massive investment needed.
$100 billion.
So, yeah, we need universal standards, getting everyone behind protocols like FIDO's passkeys, not fight with proprietary systems, and collaboration. Governments, tech giants, working together, like the EU's 2025 mandate pushing passkey support for public services. That kind of coordinated effort is crucial.
Right. It needs everyone pulling in the same direction. And so, we wrap up our deep dive for today. That experiment, living a week without passwords, It really does feel like a genuine glimpse into a potentially smoother, much safer digital future. The shift away from traditional passwords seems, well, inevitable, doesn't it? Driven by all their flaws, towards biometrics, passkeys, maybe even blockchain. The success stories we talked about, Uber, Kayak, Singapore's trial, they show the path forward. But as we've also clearly laid out, challenges remain. Compatibility, those privacy worries, cost, the need for standards, they all require serious collaborative action.
Absolutely. A passwordless world promises so much better security, less friction. But getting there requires bridging those gaps. Which leads to the big question for you, listening right now. What do you think? Are you actually ready to ditch passwords?
We would genuinely love to hear your thoughts on this. Leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree, disagree, if you're excited, or maybe a bit apprehensive about this passwordless future. And hey, for more deep dives like this one, digging into fascinating topics based on solid sources, be sure to visit Mind Expansion Daily. Please do like and subscribe to Mind Expansion Daily as well. That way, you won't miss out on any of our future explorations into topics designed to, well, expand your mind.